Hey you guys, got some footage of BG battles against Chili, and this is a few days back, but I wanted to show this, not only because I like fighting Chili, but also because it's I sort of wanted a point of learning in most of my BG videos these days, just because I do fight so many similar opponents, so unless there's a big update on how strong they've become or something, I generally try and find something either exciting or to sort of gather information for everybody from fighting them. And this time around it is sort of old school in the sense that, Devil's Gaze is a skill that's been around a long time. It's nothing new to like merge sylphs or anything like that. But it is a dark sylph skill that is really pretty great against mages. It has almost no use against a physical attack class, archers or knights, unless they have a water or a wind and water sylph on that will heal. But at the same time, here it actually does come down to the timing of Devil's Gaze that comes in handy. So this first fight, I Devil's Gaze far too early. You'll see it. Okay, and Devour Soul, hit the Delphic. Almost died. Get my heal rune in time. Then I Devil's Gaze here, but he has plenty of Awakening. He has enough Awakening to do another Sylph Delphic. There I get a nice illusion. One crit. He gets an illusion back on my Devour Soul. But yeah, so I should have waited until he was going to get out of Sylph, because I knew for sure that I'd be in Sylph mode later than he'd be. I got into Sylph mode later, and also Odin has a ton of Delphics, so he's going to lose those Awakening points quite quickly compared to myself. So yeah, missed opportunity there. Here I have a nice crit heal, 1.2 million. That'll do it. The normal attacks, so these are not... He seems to be hitting me for more, which is a little bit surprising as far as just a magical attack goes. So here he's got Devil's Gaze going. So I do a Guardian rune. That's before the Devil's Gaze. I do one more skill. So I do a lightning bolt and then a thunder, and then I use a heal. And I thought Devil's Gaze, the healing reduction passive was for 2 turns, but I guess it must be for 3 because I didn't lose the debuff until after I healed, which was a very small heal because of that debuff. So yeah, that was not so great. Otherwise, I think I was in good shape until I messed up there and didn't make sure that debuff was off. Then again, I guess it doesn't really matter if I wasn't going to last another turn to be able to get rid of that debuff and heal. Okay, so his victory. I mean, he won regardless, but anyway, just thinking about it now. Chili's the one person where I fight him and he's got the Wind Ranger, and I'm like, maybe that Wind Ranger really is the best PvP kid. But well, whenever I use the Wind Ranger, I'm really on the fence about it. I feel like the bleeds are so against other players that have so much HP. Upwards of, anybody over 1.5 million HP is not going to have a huge problem with some bleeds, even if they are big bleeds. So, not totally sure here. Here, I'm the one who gets a Devil's Gaze in time. He does have a Guardian rune on, so I'm having a hard time finishing him off. And then he gets into Odin, and Odin has a lot of damage reduction, so it takes me a bit to finish him off. But yeah, so Devil's Gaze comes in really handy there because he was not able to recover. If you don't have Devil's Gaze in the picture, then a mage that, it crit heals, you can completely recover HP just from one heal. And so that Devil's Gaze is a really big deal. If there were an AoE version of Devil's Gaze, the Knights have an AoE that does a heal reduction, but it's not nearly as big. It's like maybe like, oh, don't hold me to any numbers, but like 10% or so, and maybe not even that. But Devil's Gaze is a 50% heal reduction, and so It feels like more than 50% almost every single time. Very, very tough. So this time around, he's bringing Thor, so I'm a little bit more concerned. Dealing with Thors and BG in particular, when you don't have Sylph troops and things in the way, can be a bit tough. He's got the stun. Luckily, Panda is still alive. So definitely prefer Panda over the Wind Rangers. So bringing the Oracle when I'm up against these Thors, because I have an easier time keeping an Oracle alive. They heal themselves, they heal me. So I have an easier time keeping the kid alive, and when you're up against sylphs that do a lot of single target attacks, it's much easier to keep the kid alive. So there, it looked like his big Delphic, I got an illusion on that. I also had a Guardian Rune on, so I'm not sure I would have died, but that thing does hit very, very hard. Again, get Devil's Gaze on, so he knows he has to do something else. And then I get to Devour Soul to finish him off. Well, that's very nice. Again, remember that my advantage is in the resistances. So here, anyway, so the first 3 fights were in an earlier BG, and then I go into another BG, and I decide I'm gonna use a Fire Sylph, and then we have this nice little montage of me losing miserably a bunch of times. I will show one full fight, but anyway, so a lot of them go something like this, where I don't even make it into Sylph mode. And one of those, it was he does a Devil's Gaze, and each one of the strikes in Devil's Gaze, there are 2, and each one was for 800k. So I was convinced that cards were in play there, and I'll show later on, just as a reminder of what those cards can do. I'll show them later, but yeah, just crazy stuff, and I just have so much trouble trying to use this Fire Sylph. I do give it a go though. And, oh, Chili was saying he was lagging or something in one of the fights, and, I was asking about his speeds and whatever. I don't think it's that, though. His internet speeds, from what I heard, were very nice. I'm pretty sure he has fiber internet, and I do too, and mine never drops under, like, 90 megabits per second, so. So he's into Sylph mode. I do finally get into Sylph mode here. He's killed me a bunch of times, and I didn't even make it. But this Sylph, I mean, is so weak in comparison to my Hecate. And here, I just don't even deal much damage. So I know he's got all this heal reduction and whatever, but I doubt that he has much. Look, my damage is plus 55%. So, like, either his cards keep on proccing, which I don't think is possible to have them work so many times over and over again, or this Sylph just really sucks against Odin. I feel like I had a better time with it in Class Wars before against him. So I don't know what's different, if like BG just makes such a difference. Yeah, he's saying like no damage. I was just like, this is totally useless against him. And anyway, I was getting ready to change to use my Dark Sylph. And I was saying it might have been cards. Okay, so I did a little collage of all our stats and resistances and stuff, and I also wanted to show the cards and whatnot. So these are just my cards. I don't have a picture of Chili's cards, obviously. But there is a very good chance that some of those are in play in BG. I was talking to Robin about this because I talked to her about all this sort of PvP stuff with her. And she was saying that she actually likes the cards in BGs because it sort of livens things up and makes things a little bit different. To me, I'm all about like figuring out if, you know, in a fair fight, or who's gonna win. And so I'm sort of like actually against them, just because I want to know. I like being able to use BG as a gauge of whether or not I'd beat somebody in, you know, in a tournament where there aren't any of these cards involved. And so it's a little bit hard to tell now that we have them, and there's no way to like not use them. They're always active, and so the chance to increase your damage by 150% or decrease your damage by 80% is really big, and for sure you see them in play quite a bit. Actually, when you have a long enough fight, you're going to see them at some point, and sometimes they activate when really big skills are involved. And then so as far as stats go, you know, showing Chili has some advantage with the tenacity, so his PvP is a bit better. I don't have a clip of mine, but mine at the moment is at level 11, and at the time it might have been 10. I'm not sure. I just barely was able to get another level recently. But yeah, and then resistances, his are a tiny bit better here. I know he's at 11, 11, 10 now, but at the time during this BG, he was at 11, 11, 9, and so his resistances, 11, 11, 9 is barely, it's like not even much better than 11, 10, 10. But 11, 11, 10 is much better. So anyway, so his reduced res obviously very competitive with mine and stuff, and he's doing really well here. Otherwise, you know, the stats pretty comparable. I have much more HP, and he has a bit more attack and things, but otherwise nothing too crazy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care and have a very good day.